Good evening, good evening, good evening, my brothers and sisters out there. How are you doing this beautiful evening? Your brother Tony is in the house. I'm at the dinner table and I have set the table for you to get some of this good soul food this evening. You're going to really enjoy it. I hope that you brothers and sisters had a very, very productive and successful day. Your brother Tony, he is feeling excellent, blessed with a twist of serenity, and I cooked up some good for you all this evening. So come on in, and I would like for you to have a seat. Invite some more family members and friends to the dinner table. You know that we always have room for more people, and you know we have food that overflowing. So come on in, come on in. This is going to be a good dinner this evening. So come on in, come on in. I look forward to talking to you, brother, and my sister almost daily. So come on into the dinner table, and you know I'm going to feed you. I'm not stingy, so I'm going to dish out this good food this evening. If this is your first time at the dinner table, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Tony M. Toomer, and I talk about relationships. I talk about relationship basically from a spiritual perspective. When I say spiritual, I believe the foundation of a relationship comes to a relationship between a man and a woman that includes God in a relationship. That's where I come from in a relationship. Also, I would like for you all to know this. When I talk about relationships, I do not side with no men. I do not side with any women. I may talk more to one gender than the other, but you better believe I'm going to bring the other one in. So I want you to know I don't beat down on men. I don't beat down on women, but I do believe this. I believe that men are more analytical and women are more emotional. Okay, that's what I believe. Now, when it comes to a relationship, going back to the foundation, God started the relationship off with him and a man, that man being Adam, and he established a unique relationship with the man Adam before woman came into the picture. Secondly, God established a relationship with the woman Eve before he represented the woman to the man. Thirdly, God brought the woman to the man. And when the man Adam seen the woman Eve, he said, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. I should call a woman because she came from man. Now, that's the position where I come from. Now, if you got any other viewpoints of a relationship, you have what is called a free will. God gave you a free will to do whatever you choose to do. But if you sit at this dinner table, I'm telling you where I come from. I come from the position of Genesis when it was a man, a woman, and God. That's the position that I come from. But I encourage you, if you have a different viewpoint, to still sit down and eat some of this good soul food because it could still be nutritional for you. With that said, we're about to get into the dinner tonight. How you doing, mother? Welcome to the dinner table. I see you, John Hancock. Come on in, brothers. Come on in, sisters. I'm talking on two different platforms. I'm talking on the book and I'm talking on the tube. Those of you that are on the book, I may make a reference to those that are on the tube and you can't see their names or anything. And those of you that are on the tube, when I make a reference to those that are on the book, you may not see what they're saying, but I will address them. But what I do want you all to know, we're all family here, okay? And I would like you, brother and sister, I want you to feel free that you could talk to the other brothers and sisters while we're here at the dinner table, as long as it pertains to the topic of the night, okay? So with that said, I'm about to tell you what's on the menu for tonight. On the menu for tonight is, why do some women stay in a relationship with a bad boy? Again, tonight's topic is, why do some women stay in a relationship with a bad boy? Now, there are a lot of women that are in relationships. They are in dead end relationships. And now let me narrow down who this is basically for tonight. This is not no diss on my brother. I'm not talking to my brothers, okay? And I'm not including you in this equation, brothers. So I want you to feel comfortable. When I'm talking to the sister mainly tonight, and I want them to know when I talk about a bad boy, I'm talking about, I'm talking about a worldly man. I'm not talking about a spiritual driven man. I'm talking about a worldly man. Okay. So you sisters, listen up. Now, there's some of you that are shackled in a relationship with a man. And let me be very clear. And I'm not trying to hurt your feelings or nothing, but I'm your brother and I'm trying to help you. Some of you are in a relationship with a man and the man does not love you. He never did love you. He never will love you. I know that's some hard stuff. If you're looking for me to say some sweet things to you tonight, I'm not here to say, I'm here to tell you something encouraging, but I'm not here to put no sugar in your tea. I'm here to put some salt on the steak, okay? Now, what does salt do? You all know what salt does. What salt does, it preserves, it gives flavor, and it can irritate. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put some salt on this, on the menu tonight. I'm going to sprinkle it over this topic so we can get into it, okay? Now, as I say, sister, some of you are currently in a relationship with a man and you trying to hold on. You trying your best to hold on. You don't think that there's no other man out there that can treat you how you should be treated. There are some of you sisters right now, you have been through a relationship just like this what I'm talking about. There are some of you sisters, you're about to enter into a relationship, whereas you're going to get into it, you're going to get so deep that it's going to be hard for you to get out of it, and you're going to have shackles on yourself too, okay? Now, let me go to God's word before we get into this. We're going to go to James chapter 4, verse 2. Again, it's James chapter 4, verse 2. James chapter 4, verse 2. It say, you desire, but you do not have. So you kill. You covet, but you cannot get what you want. So you quarrel and fight. You do not have because you do not ask God. Listen to this again. This goes for men and women, but sister, you need to really listen to what I'm saying. And James 4, that's James 4, 2. That's chapter 2, and it's God's word. But this is especially for you, sister. Listen to the words that I'm about to expound to you. You desire, but you do not have. So you kill. You covet, but you cannot get what you want. So you quarrel and fight. You do not have because you do not ask God. So that's the foundation that we're going to talk about this evening. Now, as you know, I said, why do some women stay in a relationship with a bad boy or bad boys? Okay. Now, let's see what the dictionaries say a bad boy. Let's define clearly what a bad boy is. A bad boy is defined as a male who behaves badly, especially against social norms. They cannot commit to a relationship, resulting in a series of false promises, infidelity, and deceit. Again, the definition for a bad boy. There are some of you sisters that have been exposed to a bad boy, and those of you that are currently in a relationship with a bad boy, and some of you have weathered the storm, and you thank God got you out of that relationship. Again, the definition for a bad boy, it is clearly defined as a male who behaves badly, especially within social norms. They cannot commit to a relationship, resulting in a series of false promises, infidelities, and deceit. Now, there are three main things that happen at the dawn or the beginning of the relationship, sister, that cause you to get yourself in this position. Again, There were some things that happened before you really got into the relationship that caused you to be shackled in the relationship. And those three things were a lot of time, and this happened for men too, but sister, we're talking basic about you. The reason why some of you sisters are about to get into a relationship, especially those of you that are current in a relationship and those of you that have been gone out of relationship, the first thing that you did not do, the very first thing you did not do, you did not seek God for his approval. You didn't think about seeking God for your approval. Most relationships that go for a man approaching a woman or a woman approaching a man. The man sometimes, majority of the men don't ask God to handpick a woman, and a lot of women don't ask God to cause a godly man to find her. So, sister, the first thing that got you in this position, so sisters, you got to take responsibility. You cannot blame it all on the bad boy. You got in a relationship with a man that is a boy. He's a boy man. So you got to hold some responsibility, sister, because guess what? God gave you a free will. He gave you a free will. But in what your free will, you decided to get in that relationship because that bad boy, he did not hold no gun up to your head. He did not hold no knife up to your throat and said, you going to be in a relationship with me. No, some of you sisters, you got into that relationship with your own free will. So number one, you at the beginning of the relationship, you did not get into, you did not ask for God approval. Another thing that you did not do at the beginning of the relationship, what you thought you could do, you thought that you could fix the man. That's what you thought you could do at the beginning. You seen what are called red flags. You seen some red flags, but you didn't think, you thought that you can change that man. Let me tell you something, sister. Some of you sisters, some of you know right now, you cannot change a man. Some of you sisters that are not in a relationship, before you get in a relationship with a man, I want you to understand it. You cannot change a man. And let me tell you this, a man will not change for you per se. Some of you think that a man would change for you, but a lot of times if a man change, it's for his own reason. It's really not for you. It's for a reason that's going to benefit him, not you. So if you see a man change, don't think it's for you. He got an ulterior motive, because he's mostly a man that is a narcissist, and he is one of these guys that believe in me, myself, and I. So some of you sisters, you get into the relationship and you think that you can mold a man to how you want him to be. Let me tell you tonight, you cannot mold a man into into what you want him to be. Even God gave that man a free will. God do not make a man do what he want to do. God let that man decide with his free will what he's going to do. And God is not going to answer your prayer if you decide to go to God in the midst of this storm to make that man change. God is not going to make him change because you made a decision. You made a decision. First of all, you did not go to God. We're going back to that. You did not go to God for God's approval. So therefore, you were going to play a little God, and you were going to try to fix this man how you want him to be. You had some bullet points in your mind how you going to fix him. You thought that you seen potential, but now you in a penitentiary because you seen potential. When I said a penitentiary, you are shackled. You are locked into a relationship with a bad boy. And the third thing, since you did not seek God's approval, the second thing, you thought that you could change the man. And then the third thing, some of you sisters, you got into a relationship with a man and you think that you're going to lose your status in the world. You could have gotten in a relationship with what is called a high value man, a popular man, a man that got money, a man that got it going on, a man that got swag, and you associated with that man. So since you associated with that man, you get some shine. Before this man came, You probably had some shine, but when you got with this certain man, this bad boy, now you really shining. So at the beginning of the relationship, you fail 3 critical tests. And I'm emphasizing this. And this is especially for some of you sisters that are about to get in a relationship with a man. Those that are experiencing it now, again, listen to this. You did not seek God's approval, so you decided to do it your way. You didn't pray to God or nothing about it. You thought that you could change the man. And thirdly, you fear that you were going to lose some type of status according to the world's point of view. Now, the topic again, why do some women stay in a relationship with bad boys? These are 3 reasons after you got into a relationship with the bad boy. This is what happened. You like the man for superficial reasons. Superficial is defined as existing or occurring or on the surface. Again, superficial is something that exists or occurs at or on the surface. What do I mean? Superficial. Some of you sisters, when this man approached you from the beginning, he could have looked he could have been handsome. He could have had a 6-pack. He could have had some good smelling cologne on. He could have been a real good dresser. He had that thing going on. He had so much swag, and he was a good sweet talker. And then you looked at what he drove. Because believe it or not, there are some women, even up in age, they decide on a man based on what type of car that he drives. Can you believe that? Some women are into men based on what type of car he drives. Based on the type of car he drives, in that woman's mind, she think that he's an ATM machine. Or he got this big house, or he got a lot of stuff going on. All these superficial things, but you have to look beyond the she should have looked, or some of you sisters, you should have looked beyond the superficial, because everything that's superficial, it has an expiration date. What you should have done is got deeper into how that man really is, how he thinks, and how he behaves, instead of that superficial stuff. Some of you sisters, you hung up on the skin complexion of a man. He got to be a certain skin complexion, all this superficial stuff, and you just feel like you have to be with this type of man. So that's why you still hooked into this man. And a lot of time when you're into a relationship at the beginning, and if for superficial reason, it leads to number 2. You form a soul tie to this man based on superficial reason. Now, what is a soul tie? A soul tie is a spiritual and or emotional connection that you have with someone after being intimate with them, usually engaging in physical activity or sexual intercourse. You understand? So after the superficial stuff, some of you sisters, you gave your body to this bad boy. And when you gave your body to this bad boy, you got soul tied. You thought you could handle it at the beginning, but you got so soul tied, or as Jada Pinkett would say, you got it into an entanglement. So the superficial got transferred into a soul tie. Now with the soul tie, now you are really tied into this man. You think that you love this man. It's not love, sister. When you are in a relationship with a bad boy, it's not love. It's desperation. That's what it really is. It's desperation. You don't know what to do. The reason you don't know what to do, it goes back to the other thing at the beginning of the relationship, what I said. I said you did not ask God. You thought that you could change the man. And you thought that, what else did you think? You thought that you would lose possibly social status. So now you're soul tied. So when you're soul tied to this man, you're looking for comfort. You're looking for answers. So you're looking for answers. You may go to your mother or your sister. If not that, before you go to your mother, a lot of times you're going to go to your girls or your girlfriend or one that you really talk to, or if you have a little small group of women, you're going to go share your war stories with these other women. And majority of the women that you're going to share your war story with, they having conflicts with bad boys. So you're really not going to get no good advice from other women that having trouble time with a bad boy. So now where do you go? And the worst thing you could do, sister, is start talking to another man that happened to be a bad boy. Then you get into a relationship with him because you're looking for comfort. You're looking for a Band-Aid. You're looking for a bridge over troubled water. And then you get so tied to this particular guy. And what leads to that? Then it leads to low self-esteem. You get to the point where you have so much low self-esteem, sister, you think that you can't do no better. There's a lot of sisters that I know right now. They've been dealing with a man, a bad boy, and they've been there for years and years and years. Now, if you look at some of these women that I'm talking about from a physical standpoint, when you look at them with your natural eye, a lot of these women, they are very beautiful to look upon. They easy to look on the eyes, with the eyes. I'm serious. A lot of these women, and if you know this, my brothers and sisters, I do consultation, right? And a lot of these women, they are very beautiful women. These are very beautiful sisters. When I say sister, I'm not per se only talking about black women. I'm talking about any woman that is following Christ. When I say sisters and brothers, I'm not just talking about black men and black women. I'm talking about any man or any woman that's following Christ. When I say my brothers and my sisters, so I would like for you to know. But a lot of the sisters get to the point where you have real low self-esteem. The reason why you got real low self-esteem because when you got in a relationship with that man, you thought it was too good to be true. And at the beginning, it was too good to be true. So let me tell you this is a food for thought since we're at the dinner table. What appears too good to be true, a lot of time it is too good to be true. Because these bad boys, they come to you like their father Satan. They come to you like an angel light, and they have on so many masks. And you look at the mask, but you don't look at it. So they come to you, they say the right thing. They know to say the right things, and that's what they do. So you get all entrenched into those words that they say, and when you get all entrenched at those words that they say, that's it. That's it. So you're in too deep. Now you're looking for comfort. So if you go to your mother, she could tell you some words. She can give you some encouraging word. And if you got a good mother, you got a godly mother, she can impart you wisdom, but more than likely you'll listen, but you won't listen. If you go to your girlfriends, they may encourage you. You may got some real down sister. They may try to encourage you, but you hear, but you don't want to hear. Then the worst thing you could do is go talk to a man that don't view you as a sister. He just view you as a woman. And most of the time when you go to talk to another man about a man, most men don't see you as a sister. They see you as something else. And believe me, they're looking to get paid for listening to your stuff. And I have said this over and over again. Some of you women that go talk to other men about your man, majority of these men that you talk to, they really don't want to hear it. They will pretend that you can cry on their shoulder. They will pretend that they can empathize with you and they care for you. but majority of them, they do not care for you. To a lot of these guys that you go talk to about your man, these other men, they ain't gonna do nothing but cause you to feel worse than you did with your man. You're gonna run into this other man and you think you could handle it. You're not gonna be able to handle it, because if you get into a relationship with this side dude or this side man and you go exchange body fluid with that man, you're going to eventually get soul tied to this man. Now you got two problems. You got a problem with the man that you chose at the beginning, and now you got a problem with this side guy. How you doing, Sister Cheryl? Welcome to tonight's dinner table. To those that are coming in, tonight topic or what's on the menu tonight is, why do some women stay in a relationship with a bad boy or bad boys? Okay. Now, so your self-esteem is so low, and you looking for comfort, and you can't find comfort. And I told, and this is how I normally go. You go talk to your mom. If not your mom, you're gonna talk to your best girl or your girlfriends. Then you talk to this other guy that really don't care anything for you. Then you want to, and I always say this, now since we in a social media age, you're going to go and put your grievance on social media. And then you're going to ask for the opinions of a lot of experts on social media. And the only thing you're doing is giving them free entertainment. How you doing, Sister Flo? Welcome to tonight's dinner table. And I believe it's Malik. I hope that I pronounced your name right. It said, hey, I got a question. Is my ex relationship going to work? If she left me for someone else, she basically market branch to it. Let me answer that, brother Malik. You say, I got a question. Is my ex relationship going to work? If she left me for someone else, she basically market branch to it. Some women do it, brother. And let me tell you that, let me say this. There are some women that got good men and they jump ship. A lot of time when a woman jumps ship, they think that the grass is greener on the other side, brother Malik. A lot of time they think that the grass is greener on the other side. So don't be surprised if she won't come back to you. Don't wait. If she gone, she gone. Do not wait. Live, get your life more close to God. And when you get your life more close to God, do you. And don't, if you still have some feeling for it, don't get into no other relationship with no one else, because it won't be right. You need to resolve your feelings. You need to be whole. You need to be healed before you get into another relationship. And another thing, brother, don't get in a relationship with another woman, because she might actually like you, but most of the time when people break up and the first person they get into a relationship with, that normally don't last. That's just a band-aid or bridge over troubled water on the majority relationship. But that was a good question. How you doing, Sister Leah Rose? Thank you, sister. Thank you. Welcome to the dinner table. So back to the low self-esteem. Some of you, sister, you have such low self-esteem, then you want to share your stories, your grievances on social media. And let me tell you, sister, don't put your business on social media. You could get people that appear like they care for you. They're going to give you some advice, but it's not sound advice. They're going to give you worldly advice. Instead of advising you to go pray to God, a lot of them feel compelled that they're going to tell you how to solve it. And a lot of men and women that's going to tell you how to solve it, they're not in a relationship. I'm telling you, majority of people that are going to give you relationship advice, they're not in a relationship. They don't have no receipts. And I mean, it's a lot of them like that. And a lot of them they're gonna try to give you advice, they're gonna give you bad advice. So don't put your business on social media asking people to have compassion on you and empathize with you. It doesn't work like that. The only thing that's going to happen, these particular people are just going to be entertained by you because they bored looking at TV or whatever. So they looking at you for free entertainment. And then they're going to just talk about you. Even your family and your friends, they're going to talk about you. Because at the beginning of the relationship, like I said, to a lot of you sisters that started off in a relationship with a man, you failed those three things at the beginning. You did not ask God about this man. And so when you did not ask God about that man, you thought that you could fix that man, which you can't fix him because God gave him free will. And then another thing, like I said, you got in a relationship with a man because of status. He could have been popular. He could have had some form of power according to the world standard, and he had a shine on him. But the shine he got is from his father Satan, because the Bible clearly say that Satan transformed himself into an angel of light. So if Satan transformed himself into an angel of light, his son's gonna do like that. So when you get in a relationship with this guy, you get some of the light, but you get some dark light. You're not getting the light of Christ. You understand? And then going back to that scripture in James 4:2, again, James 4:2, it states, they go for men and women, but sister, this for you tonight. It said, you desire, but you do not have. So you kill. You covet, but you cannot get what you want. So you quarrel and you fight. You do not have because you do not ask God. And God is not going to give it to you because you ask, because it's a lust. So, sister, you lust after this bad boy. And this bad boy came in, and what you did not see, this man had the spirit of his father Satan in him. You didn't see the spirit because it was invisible. And when you see, it's deeper than the man. This one of those evil spirit, or a couple of them could be in that man. They got in that man because they've been watching you for years. They knew what type of men you was involved with. And this will get me sometimes. Some sisters, and like I said, tonight, I'm not here to put no sugar in your tea. I'm here to put some salt in your steak. I'm not here to hurt you. I'm here to bring you to reality. And the reality is that some of these men, worldly men, I'm not talking about my brothers, my spiritual brother, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about these worldly men, because it's bad to say, a lot of you sisters, you'd rather get in a relationship with a worldly man than a man of God, because you look at a man of God like he's boring. He's a square. He's a geek. You looking at these bad boys because they may look good. They may be buff and all that kind of superficial stuff. And he doesn't have no good character. He don't even talk about God or Jesus. He don't care about God or Jesus. If you go to public worship or something, he'll let you go by yourself. He may go every now and then to try to appease you, but he going there just because it's something that you got that he wants. Now you got low self-esteem. Some of these guys that you get in a relationship with, they make you feel so low. You could sit on the curb side and your feet won't even touch the street. That's right. You feel so low, you could sit on the curb and your feet can't touch the streets. That's how some of these guys got some of you sisters. You got shackles on you. When you going to decide? You need to decide tonight to leave these bad boys alone. They're no good for you. But it's not going to be easy, because as usual, they put so many fleas on you, and you've been itching for so long. Because he as usual, this guy dogging you out. And these bad boys, they get to the point where they don't care nothing about you. They get to the point where they talk to you any kind of way. They don't care whether it hurts you or not. They see tears coming down your cheeks. You try to talk to them. They don't care. They say you nag at them. And a lot of these bad boys, they was purposely start an argument with you to leave the house to be with another woman or women. They just start stupid fight. Like I always say, I see a piece of lint over there on the side of the bed. It's a piece of lint. Why you didn't get that piece of lint? They start all kinds of stupid argument. Then they be gone for days. You call their phone, you text them, they will not respond. Then they get to the point where they say, I'm sorry. That's to get back in with you. That's for you to drop your guards down. And I know some women that go through this stuff over and over again. They be going through it years and years and years. And I be thinking, when are you going to wake up? You already drinking the coffee. When you going to smell the coffee? Low self-esteem. You got that guy thinking, that guy be telling you that you ugly. He be telling you that you fat. Look at all those cellulites. He be just look at your stomach. And you had all of that before when he met you. At that time, he was telling you how fine you were and how good you look. Now he want to tell you need to lose weight. And a lot of these guys, they tell you need to lose weight when they got a stomach way out here, but they're telling you that you need to lose weight. That's how it be sometimes, sisters. So, sisters, what are you going to do? What is a bad boy? Like I said earlier, when you look in the dictionary, but you ain't got to look in the dictionary. I'm going to tell you what a bad boy is. He's defined as a male who behaves badly, especially within social norms. And here go some things about these bad boys. They cannot commit to a relationship. Do you understand? They cannot commit to a relationship. And if they can't commit to a relationship, what is the result of it? They have a series of false promises, meaning they lie, which lead to a series of infidelities. And this is a thing, some of you sisters, you know the man been seeing woman after woman after woman, women. You know it. They put it right up in your face. You got proof that these men dealing with these women. You know where that man and woman be at. You know it all. But you still there. And they keep deceiving you. How you doing, Sister Greta? Welcome to the dinner table. And they keep deceiving you. When are you going to let this bad boy go? When you going to do it? The only way you're going to let this bad boy go, because you done heard advice from me, and I'm talking to you from a spiritual standpoint, and I'm trying to help you, and then you listen to all this other stuff, but I'm here to tell you the remedy for it. The only way you're going to break up with a bad boy, God and Jesus is the key. That's your only key. Jesus is the key. Because if you don't allow Jesus to be the key, let's say you and that man do break up. And let's say you get in a relationship with another man. The only thing you're going to really be doing with that relationship with that other man, because you still ain't over that other man. You have this other man thinking that you love him and stuff. But you see, you're with him in body, but your mind is on the other side of town. Your mind could be on the other side of town for years. You thinking about that bad boy. And when that bad boy, he could know that you with a good man. He could know you with a good man. A godly man that God calls to find you. And you're going to entertain his call on the phone. You're going to entertain his text. And he said, I just want to see you for a little while. Then you make a decision based on how you feel. You go see this guy, and then the cycle start, he get you all entangled again. Now you frustrated because all he wanted to do is prove that he was the man. That's all he wanted to prove, that he was the man. He got over on you again, and now you feel like you want to kick your own self in the rear end, but unfortunately, you can't kick yourself in your own rear end. So your only deliverance is Jesus. That's your only deliverance. Jesus can kill those desires for this bad boy, but it's going to take time. You got to understand that it's going to take time. And in the meantime, you got to work on yourself. And sister, while the Lord is working on you, my advice to you, if this is you, don't be dating no other men, because you got to go through the healing process. You got to go through the healing process. You don't get into another relationship, and hopefully this relationship is serious, committed, that leads to a marriage. You don't want to be another man's girlfriend for years, or someone that he see through the night, or what you doing, or see you every now and then. No, you need a man in your life that's going to be consistent. You need a man in your life that, first of all, he loves God through his son, Jesus Christ. And Jesus is his head. That's the man that you need in your life. A man that follows Christ. And the Lord going to bless that man with other stuff. He may not be wealthy. He might not look like Denzel Washington. He might not have that six-pack. He may be short. He may not have that big mansion on the hill, but he have somewhere for you and him to stay. He may make an honest living, but hey, he may drive a car and it might not be no top of the end car. How you doing, Sister Kitty? Welcome to the table. He might. So, sister, you got to get past that superficial stuff. You got to stop looking at the color of his skin, look at the color of his skin. Look how good his hair is. His hair so wavy. If we have children, our children are going to come out because his hair so wavy, and look at his skin color. That get me how some women be pitching stuff. You know what I mean? Sister Flo says short 4'9". Okay. But you never know. You see, God could put big things in small packages. You don't know. So when you pray to God to deliver you out of this bondage or out of these shackles, you see what God would do. You see, God got a work to do through his son Jesus. It's more than that man. It's some demons that was in that man that bound you. That's what you do not understand, sister. There was a demon or demons in that man, but you didn't see them. They was using that man to get you. So the real bondage are those demons that was in that man, because you got to understand, we fight a spiritual battle. Satan used worldly men and worldly women to get you. That's for you brothers too. He would use a worldly woman. She could look like Halle Berry, fine like Janet Jackson or whatever. But he could use those type of women. I'm just an illustration. Or she could be moved like Angela Bassett or whatever. She could have some money like Oprah Winfrey or whatever. But anyway, Satan will use women to get you too, brother. Worldly women. But sister, beware. Let the Lord break those shackles, those demons that's inside of that man, and don't do like a dog. What does a dog do? A dog could eat a lot of stuff. The dog could get sick. The dog can regurgitate or throw up all that stuff that made him sick. And what a dog does, what does a dog do after it throw up? The dog could walk away from the throw up. And you know what a dog would do? A dog would look back at that throw up and go eat it again. The Bible even talk about it. That's what dogs do. If you all ever seen a dog that gets sick and they throw up and they walk away, they feel better, they're gonna go back and lick that that gurgitation up. So, sister, why you want to go back to a man that caused you to be mentally, emotionally, and physically sick? Why you want to go back to that what you gurgitated up? You won't be no better than Fido. And that go for you, brother, too. Why would you want to go to a woman that made you sick and you gurgitated, and you want to go back to that same type of woman? And let me tell you this, sister, these same type of men, they're going to tell you that they're going to do better. They can't do better if the Lord is not in their life. And brother, if you go back to a woman, if the Lord is not in her life, she can't do no better. The only thing they could do is, brother, the woman could treat you worse, or sister, that man could treat you worse. The only way a man going to change, sister, he got to have Jesus, and Jesus got blood, got to cleanse him, and that man got to be converted. The Spirit of the Lord got to be in him. If the Spirit of the Lord is in him, not in him, you going to eat that vomit up again. And with that said, my brother and sister, I hope you got something out of it. Sisters, you better listen to me. You better listen. It's better to be alone than deal with Tyrone, okay? That's right. You remember Erykah Badu when she saw that song, you know, that Tyrone song? What did Erykah Badu say? You calling Tyrone? Get your friends to come get you. I love you, brother. I love you. So those of you that are on the book, like, share, make comments, share with your family members and friends. Those of you that are on the tube, if you're not a subscriber, subscribe, hit that notification button, and share. It will not cost you anything but moving your fingers a little bit. It won't cost you anything. Thank you, brother and sister, for being here at the dinner table. Thank you for sharing this good meal with me. I love you, brothers. I love you, sister. You all have a good night. Peace out.